So last year I read a lot of books. I used to select a book that I liked and read it. Like all the reading which I did was so passive and I never reflected on most of the things which I learned from the books. And at the start of this year, I watched this Joe Rogan podcast with Naval Ravikant, where he shared his secret to reading books, like how Naval reads. And his method was way too interesting, and obviously the things he said made sense. So before going further, if you guys are new here, then welcome to my channel. I am Abhidev and I create videos about freelancing, writing, productivity and things that I find interesting. And this video is simply going to be my personal thoughts on reading, like what I feel about reading books and how I read my books. So first, let me show you this 20-30 second clip from the Joe Rogan podcast where Naval Ravikant shares his views on reading, and then I will tell you my story.
So she would basically say, when you get back from school, go straight to the library and don't come out until I pick you up late at night. So I used to basically live in the library and I read everything. I read every magazine, I read every pictograph, I read every book, I read every map. I just ran out of stuff to read. I just read everything. So I got over this idea of that reading a large number of books or reading a book to completion as a vanity metric. Because really, when people are putting up photos on Twitter and Instagram of look at my pile of books that I'm reading, it's a show-off thing. It's a signaling thing.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And the reality is I would rather read the best 100 books over and over again until I absorb them rather than read all the books.
Right.
Yeah, because your brain has finite information, in finite space. You get enough advice, it all cancels to zero. There's a lot of nonsense in books out there too.
By the way, the complete video will be linked in the description box below. So if you want to listen to the whole podcast, then you can listen from the link. So now let's come to my points, like why I stopped reading books passively and how I improved the quality of my reading. And I have divided this video into two parts. The first is why do I read books, and second is how do I retain more things now as compared to last year, like when I used to read more books. So let's start with why do I read books. So mostly I read non-fiction books, and I'm going to talk about those kind of books only. I usually read books to capture ideas and things which I want to understand and learn so that I can process that information and apply it in my life, which helps me to grow myself and simply understand things better in general. And I think just reading books for the sake of reading is a complete waste of time, because first of all, the things you are reading might not resonate with you, and because you don't relate with the information, then you don't know where to apply that information in your life. So instead, we should only read books which can help us in our current situation. And I only read books because of this single reason only. And nowadays, I only select books which can help me to solve my current problem. Because suppose if I have a problem right now, so reading about it, like how to solve it, will help me to actively engage with the book. And obviously, I can relate to it, like the things mentioned in the book better. So I think we should focus more on the quality of our reading, like how much we are actually absorbing from the book rather than the quantity of our reading, where we read more books but we don't absorb much. Now moving on to the next point, which is how I retain more from the books. So, retaining more and absorbing more from the books completely depends on three things. First is how actively you are reading, like how engaged you are with the things that you are reading. Second, whether you are reflecting on the things you are reading or not. This includes highlighting, note-taking, connecting the thoughts from the different books, like if you are reading about productivity, then connecting various things about productivity from different books. And third, revisiting those notes and reflections. So, to read more actively, I already told you guys that I only choose books which help me to solve my current problem. So this helps me to get involved with the books more. And I connect with the book with the active mindset. And then at the time I'm reading, I highlight things in my books and just write small points if I'm reading a physical book, or I just use the notes feature in the reading app. And once I've completed reading the chapter or the complete book, then I take at least 3 or 4 days to take notes from the book, like I expand on the things that I learned from the books. And doing this exercise has helped me so much to learn new things from the books and also to apply them in my life. I use this app called as Notion, where I have a complete page dedicated to book notes. And if you are familiar with Notion, then you know that there is this duplicate option to duplicate your templates. So I use this template which was designed by Ali Abdul, who is an amazing productivity YouTuber, where my notes include a few points like how I describe the book in 3 sentences after reading it. I add my favorite quotes from the books, and below I have a summary where I reflect upon the things which resonated with me the time I was reading, like how the things that I'm reading can help me now and also in the future. So by this, I have a collection of my personal notes which I can revisit anytime, like when I need them. So guys, choose the things that you do and how you do in your time wisely, because there is no substitute for time. Even with the books, if you are just reading and not learning anything, then reading just don't make any sense. decisions. You need to choose things wisely so that you can grow. I hope you guys found this video useful and learned something new from the video. And if you did, then don't forget to give this video a big like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video.